So we've got the neck back on. We're going to take off the pick guard as well, because I want to get that off for to be able to adjust the neck pickup. Okay, because it does need a little bit of adjustment. Okay, I'm using my little finger here to keep control on the that slot screws. We really are spoiled with Phillips or other manners of screw heads that can use automated drivers and things like that. There's the rare occasion that I'll use a blade in my drill, but as a rule around fine instruments, not the best idea. One slip and you have a problem. Okay, so there's that. This is, it looks like it's lacquered. At least polished. Bakelite. Cool. Alrighty. Okay, so little housekeeping. These bridges, this whole area back here can be really fun to try to get into for housekeeping. I use this old horsehair brush, which has got 1-inch bristles on it. Really, really cool. Can't beat the natural products, Anyway, just going to dust that out. It's fairly clean already, so not too worried about really getting down and dirty with that, because it's fine. It's fine. As usual, we are going to use paper towels for our housekeeping services here. I'm just going to wipe up some finger marks. Okay, let's make it look nice. Okay, and while I'm down here, I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to check these bridge screws. I like to make sure that anything that is attaching a bridge to an instrument is battened down. These all are they can all use a little bit of a turn. Messy. There we go. Good. Okay. And that is that. So that's been, any void or sloppiness that would have lived there is gone. It's kicked out. I'm going to give these saddles a little preliminary tweak here. And while I'm doing this, I will explain a little trick that I do. It's not rocket science or anything like that. And I'm just eyeballing this for a moment. Okay. These bolts back here, the customer hasn't requested it, but what I will do once in a while, after a discussion with the owner, is if they want it really finely intonated, I'll replace these screws with other screws, like this particular instrument being a 52 reissue and all that. The owner of this instrument wants to keep it integral, wants to keep it original, etc., etc. So we're going to honor that. That's all good. But anyway, with respect to these intonation length screws, I would replace them with another screw, and there is a little trick where I bend the screw about 3/8 or so from the head and just put a little kink in the screw. What that does is the saddle will do this as you turn the screw. It'll do this, and you can actually get that the brass saddle to tilt a little bit and really refine your intonation. Anyway, I'll save that for a specific video at some point in the future, and I'll show you exactly how that works. It's pretty very low tech, but really quite effective. There's some tricks to it as well. It's not necessarily as cut and dried as that. The whole setup process can get a little more dicey when you have bent screws, let's say. Alrighty, so next step is putting on some new strings. So we got a set of 10s here we're going to bust out. And once again, oh, that goes in the garbage. Once again, I might edit some of this out just to expedite the process. Okay, I'm just getting these ready, getting them situated. Get that there, get that there, get that there. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of housekeeping here on the neck itself. Obviously, being a finished maple neck, we don't have to do a whole lot as far as moisturizing the wood or anything like that. But what I will get is, this is a piece of micro mesh. This is 4,000. Okay, 4,000, very nice. That'll polish you up. Okay, you can get it finer than that, but 4,000 is just going to be dandy. Okay, just going to put a little pardon me, a little masking tape over that pickup to protect it. That's low tack masking tape, painter's tape if you would, but something specifically low tack. So I'm just going to take this right onto the finish, okay? I'll just buff these frets up just a little bit, get some of that tarnish eliminated. And tarnish kind of roughens up the surface of the fret and starts to hang on to dirt and junk and whatnot, so we're just getting rid of that. It's all good. That looks just dandy. I mean, as far as the finish goes, you'd never know that you had a fine grit on there. Polishes it actually. So I'm going to throw a little polish on this paper towel here, and get this neck cleaned up a little bit. I have other things that will deal with maple necks and whatnot in different ways depending on the condition. This is actually in really good shape. That cleaned up just dandy. And while I'm up here, I might as well go around the headstock. Okay, and get rid of some of the fingerprints and some of the other junk there. This is still very clean, so I'm not worried about spreading anything around or doing any damage. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Okay. Everybody's happy, everybody's good, awesome. Okay, so this can all go in the garbage. And it's on to string time. Again, batch your processes. Okay? If you're going to put a string in, okay, why do one when you can do all of them in the same process? Save yourself some time. Okay. Okay, so we have that all situated. Now, getting the strings up top here. All right. I'm going to hang on to that. So some of the preliminary adjustments I did down here were also to affect where the string crosses over on the saddle, because you want to get as close to your finish point as possible without having to make a whole lot of adjustments, and then the kink that'll be in the string will wind up in a different place. Now, as far as intonation and whatnot, it looks pretty good to me as far as where the final spot's going to be. But having that kink, you want to distort the string as little as possible. Let's put it that way. So now on the top end here, I'm going to allow for, I would say, double post length, let's say. Oops. If I were to say how long that is in inches, I would say probably 2 inches. Okay. And we will pop that down in the hole. They like to twist around. Now if you caught that, I actually put I wrap it around before I don't have to say use the winder to to do the whole thing. So, and what I like to do is maybe add a little bit more length to the other strings as we go up. So if you follow here, from the low E to the A to the D to the G, I want to add perhaps a little bit of length to my string cut each time, not too much, but the more string that you wind around the post, the greater the pitch is going to be over the nut, especially for the D and the G, which you can get some, the more pressure they have on them without the string guide, the better. And again, being careful not to throw too much string around the post itself in the end product. Okay, and that's pretty good. Okay, so this one. Now we're close to 2.5, 2 3/4 there. Okay. Beauty. Okay. And finally onto the G string. I'm going to go right up to about 3 inches here. And that will give me a good few times around the post. I'm a fan of about 3 wraps, but with these things I like to see maybe a little bit more. That's going to be closer to 4, which I'm okay with, because that, what is the G string's about, in this case 17 thou. That's an extra 17 thou, which doesn't sound like much, but the strings, when you keep winding them, that will add up, and that little bit of extra down pressure back here can be a fraction of a degree perhaps here, but it can be the make or break in terms of a problematic instrument and keeping things under control. So we try to accommodate everybody. So now I'm back to just kind of 2.5 or so inches worth of extra string down the hole in the center, wrap it around a couple times to save some time. And you notice I go up and down the string length like that. That is to make sure that it is set down here and that the string isn't wound up or bound up. Okay, so it's seated properly. And last one here. Got a little tweak. Okay. Beauty. Notice I'm holding on to the slack end of the string here. If I let that go, all hell breaks loose. Who's in control? You or the instrument? And also, if you noticed, obviously, I started at the low E and worked myself towards the high E, or worked towards the high E, and therefore each successive string is in clear territory where I'm not encumbered by interference from the strings that are already on. Okay, so we have the strings are on. And we're going to get this looking. Okay. Before I start making some more tweaks here, that is before I tune it up or get it up to pitch, let's say, I'm going to, I'm just making sure that everything is in line. That is, we want to see the center line between the strings. We don't want the neck to be over here or over there, okay? We want, because the neck was off, it can be, when you put it back on, it can get skewed. Okay, so I'm looking at the center line this way. I want it nice and neat. I want to see, real estate on both sides of the neck looks good, okay? And in this case, it's a little bit towards the treble side, so I'm going to pull that back towards me a little bit, and that's better. Okay. Never force it because you'll break it. Okay, a little word of caution there. You don't want to go through that experience. Now I'm going to put on modest tension. I'm not going to bring it up to full tension. I'm just ballparking it. I'm just going to ballpark it. And exactly what I thought would happen. So I tend to do things conservatively, okay? Just with that, with this little bit of preliminary stuff, I haven't, this is key, I have not brought the strings up to full tension. And I've made preliminary adjustments that are in the ballpark, okay? So I'm zeroing in. I'm not going all out and perfect right from the get-go, because this is exactly what happens. I have to take the neck off again to make another adjustment, and I might have to do it again. So I don't want to have a situation where the strings are stressed, they're all kinked up, and the neck, I got to pull all 4 bolts out and all that kind of stuff. We are working towards an end result in a logical fashion using, you know, our time wisely, let's say, okay? So I'm seeing a little bit too much relief under there, which means, again, that we have to take that neck off, and I fully expected that. It would have been nice to not have to do that, but I'm not keen on the adjuster down here, and it was just not. It's okay, and in fact, I don't feel comfortable pulling it out, lubricating it at this point, because the instrument's just it's too new. And it's not warranted. It still works. I'm comfortable with the way it works, but I don't want to induce any junk or premature, you know, lubricants in there that can draw in garbage and permeate the wood prematurely. That's for down the road when things really start to get sketchy and whatnot. So let's try to keep it natural for now. And another thing is, I see some people, you'll see some tellies with marks all across the neck pickup, across the top of it, from people getting in there and trying to torque the truss rod adjuster with being lazy and not taking it apart. You know, taking the neck off is not good either, but you know, it's better than hacking up the pickup, which is a visible thing as well. Anyway, I'm going to take a short break again, okay, and get the neck off. We'll expedite all this, and then we'll have at it again. Okay, I'll be right back.